don't mind me folks, just a spot of breakfast before we get started, eh? Well folks, I'm at home. I'd much rather be out in the bush today, but the wife's got the car for work, so I can't get away. But this video is going to be about kit maintenance, and I'm going to focus on my boots. I think kit husbandry is a really important subject. You know, if you don't show your equipment the proper aftercare when you come back from a day out in the bush, or a wild camp, or a few days out in the bush, whatever it may be, if you don't look after them properly, then they won't keep performing for you in the future. So my boots are the Altberg Defender boots. They're all leather. In all honesty, they're not in the worst state I've ever been in, but they are dirty enough, grimy enough that I'm going to show them the proper attention that they deserve. So I've got a few tools of the trade here, if you like. I've got the boot brush here, quite stiff bristles, and this is what I'll use to clean the worst of the grime off the leather in the boots. I have a towel to pat them dry. I have a tin of dubbin and a rag, and I have a block of beeswax. And I'm going to go through step by step what each one gets used for. So let's get cracking. So I place the laces in some boiling water, and I just sort of I leave them to steep, maybe about 45 minutes. So obviously the idea is to scrub away all the dirt and grime. Pay attention to a lot of you got like lots of little nooks and crannies inside the lace loops. The mud gets stuck inside there and all that. Also, the soles of your boot, give them a scrub as well. Also, remember to scrub out the back when you're done, because otherwise your partner will probably get really mad with you. You've been warned. Right, so now what I do is I've got an old, it's a tea towel, but it's sort of dedicated to this job now. What I do is just pat dry the boots. Don't use a hair dryer or anything else like it, because it'll dry the leather out and it'll probably crack. So you just want to towel dry it. Obviously after you've washed out the bath though, yeah? Right, so I've got my tin of cherry blossom boot dubbin, neutral colour, and just a rag. That's what I use to apply it. I use this because it helps to soften and condition and waterproof the leather. Basically it stops it from drying and cracking. So I suppose in a way it's a bit like moisturiser on your skin. If you get like dry, cracked hands, you put moisturiser on, softens and moisturises and conditions them. So what I do is apply it evenly over the whole boot. Put my index finger in the rag like that, and then put my index finger in the rag in the dubbin. A little blob on the end, and then I'll just start applying it. Just do the little circles like this, just to help it moisturise in. What I like to do at the toe end is get my fist right in there and push out, because you get all these creases here, and if you leave them long enough to dry out and you don't apply any dubbin or any boot polish or anything, this is where the cracking will start. So I like to push it out and open up the creases, and that way I can get a decent amount of the dubbin in there. So what I do now is just set them aside and give the dubbin a chance to start soaking into the leather, and while I'm waiting for that to happen, I'm going to tend to the laces now. So here's the laces, they're clean now, they're dry now, and my next step is to rub on the beeswax. The reason I do it is I find that it prolongs the life of the laces by providing a sort of wax protection which stops the worst of the dirt and the grime getting into the weave of the lace. The other reason I do it is once my boots are tied up and I'm hiking about, when your boot flexes as you're hiking, I find that the knot, it tends to slip, whereas when it's got beeswax on it, I feel the knot binds better. It doesn't tend to slip as much. So the way I do it is, just like, put it on like that, and then apply pressure with the thumb, and then basically just pull the lace across the beeswax. And then just turn it a different angle so you cover the whole lace. So well done if you made it to this point in the video. I can appreciate boot maintenance, it isn't one of the more sexier subjects within bushcraft or any outdoor pursuit really, but I do think it's an important topic to cover because I think your boots are one of the most important pieces of kit you own. You know, it's what gets you from place to place out in the bush, and if you don't maintain them properly in between times, you know, the more you neglect them, I think the more expensive it will be for you in the long run because you're constantly going to be replacing them. But yeah. So, thanks for stopping by folks, really appreciate you doing so. I appreciate all the comments, all the support you show me, and if you haven't done so already, or if you're new to my channel, then please subscribe, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. Take care.